Good day, everybody. I'm David Foreman, better known as the Herbal Pharmacist, or other parts of the world, maybe the Herbal Pharmacist. I've been doing a bunch of video podcasts on behalf of Indus Biotech, and today I've got a really good friend of mine and industry colleague, Alan Roberts, as our guest. Alan, I hate introducing people, so I'm going to let you tell people a little bit about what you do, and even maybe some of the stuff you've done in the past, because you've done some really cool stuff in your career.
Sure. So I've been in the industry for over 25 years, so I know I'm dating myself, but primarily doing product commercialization. So from concept to commercialization, helping CPG brands launch innovative functional products. So currently working at TCI Bio as Chief Product Officer and founder of Nutrition Innovation, which is my consulting firm that I've had for 20 plus years.
Yeah, I mean, you've worked with some very high level companies and high level individuals as well. Like what I really want to cover with you today is sort of like, what does it take to create a next gen product? And as I'm speaking those words, I'm reminded of just only a few years ago, a beverage that you had created was up for a Nexty Award. So if anybody's questioning whether Alan has the mojo to be talking about this, yeah, he does. So I think people, when they talk about formulating next gen, it's different things for different people, right? Like, it's not just tablets and capsules anymore.
Correct. Typically what I'm looking for is what I refer to as unicorn ingredients. So an ingredient that can ideally go into multiple product forms, right? Like you mentioned, that center product. Well, those ingredients all could have gone into a capsule, but they ended up in a beverage. So the other thing about unicorn ingredients is, so multiple product forms, cost per dose, you can't be too expensive because you want to have maybe secondary ingredients or other players, right? Not the lead stars of the team, but secondary players. Cost per dose, regulatory, ideally it can go into multiple markets, right, without an issue, so you don't have to have multiple SKUs.
So you're talking about like EFSA for Europe versus
TGA, that kind of thing.
Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah. And ideally, has multiple mechanisms of action.
All right.
And I know today we're talking about Indus, right? So
yeah, Indus has I'm actually creating a presentation for them, and it's basically, the premise of it is all in one seed. A lot of their ingredients come from the same seed, fenugreek, but depending on the extraction process, it maybe works better for blood sugar or for muscle health or muscle mass or metabolic health or whatever.
Yeah.
We'll cross over to that in a second. Like, what do you feel like are like some of the big trends to make something a next gen? You mentioned first of all, you're looking for that unicorn ingredient.
Yeah.
It's going to be the hero, right? I always call them hero ingredients. Maybe that.
Yeah. Hero's great.
Okay.
Yep.
But what does it take to be next gen? You mentioned
it's
obviously important, but tell me more.
I think next gen is science, right? Also ingredient presence. So some trademarks are also helpful to elevate consumer wellness. The other thing is innovative product forms or delivery forms. There is pill fatigue. So as you mentioned, like, I worked for some interesting people. One of them, Brian Johnson with Blueprint, and he was taking like 111 capsules a day. So the idea was to streamline the product line down to a beverage and then around 6 pills. So ideally, if you can find ingredients that can go in multiple product forms, so the consumer has as many options as possible to consume that product.
So what areas are you feeling are the hottest? Like, where's the trend in people wanting to formulate next gen? Because TCI, contract manufacturing, so you're working with a lot of different brands, right? I mean,
correct. Yeah, different key accounts. Yes.
Yeah. So what are people looking for?
they're looking for convenience and on the go. So, we can provide, or we're looking to provide, we have different facilities. So depending on where you're at, we are like 5 different facilities across the world. And we specialize mainly in liquids. So anywhere from 50 mLs up to 750 mLs in various product forms, glass, and HDPE. So, but a lot of people are going to single serve. So it could be a liquid sachet, or it could be like a powder sachet. So kind of on the go, single serve use.
Okay.
Is what we see. And it could be, yeah. So this would be like a liquid sachet. Wearing black today, but
yeah, it's okay. No, it's cool.
Yep.
Yeah. So so when you're formulating for a next gen, what are some of your big hurdles that you're feel like you're dealing with on a regular basis?
Yeah. So the biggest hurdle, like since we're doing with a lot of beverage type of applications, is sensory. So if it's really bitter, astringent, botanical, that can cause issues, and you can lose out on projects because of that. I'd say sourcing clean tasting ingredients would be another hurdle, and appearance sometimes could be a hurdle with ingredients. So those are a couple when it comes to sensory.
Okay. Yeah.
And then also like processing, right? If you're processing and having a kill step, you could be losing actives or completely destroying them. So you really have to look at each ingredient and see if it's going to be suitable for that application, and if there's any ingredient interactions too.
So I know one of the things that you're super skilled at is, we talked about the unicorn/hero ingredient. My big thing, that and it's funny, it's like I literally had a call this morning with a company out of Europe that wanted to talk to me about helping them formulate some products, and I'm like, well, let's be specific about this. Like, what do you just want me to like find ingredients that are kick butt and are going into a tab or a cap, or are we getting more complicated? Because if it's more complicated than that, then you need to talk to my friend, because I don't do that. So you have your one, maybe a couple hero ingredients in a formula. And then what's the step, like what kind of process are you looking at? You're supporting your customer, right? At getting other ingredients that are complementary. How's that work
Yes.
for you? Yeah, what's that look like for you?
So it's mainly kind of just going back on my knowledge, and then looking at previous documentation I have on projects and coming up with ideas. Also maybe leaning on AI and coming up with other ideas that are outside the box sometimes, but ideally that there's some synergy and that there's similar mechanisms of action or complementary mechanisms of action, I think is really what will help move the needle, especially if you're working on a client that has a really tight budget and they can maybe only afford one hero ingredient. So you really have to find those other complementary ingredients.
And are people now looking at proving the efficacy of those combinations, or just kind of like are they just trusting because there's science on ingredient X and there's science on this. Well, let's use Indus for a second here. One of my favorite ingredients that I've actually been taking of theirs is called Testo Surge. It's for me, I'm turning 62. Andropause is a big thing for me, and luckily I don't have the other, like a lot of the symptoms that I think a lot of men would say they have. But for me, it was retaining muscle mass, retaining or even maybe adding to what I have. I'd go away for a week and come back and I'd have like ridiculous atrophy. So that one helps increase free testosterone, etc. Let's say you're putting Testo Surge into a formula. What other types of things would you be looking to add to something like that to support? Well, I think it would work both way on men and women, but let's just focus on men for right now.
Yeah, I think zinc would be one just off the top of my head. Maybe ZMA.
Okay, yeah.
Something like if you're looking for 2 hero ingredients. So I have to give it some more thought, but those would be the two right
Yeah, I
there.
know. I threw you like a wicked
Yeah,
hanging curveball right
probably on my
there.
first cup of coffee.
Yeah, yeah. I'm on my third tee, but the first two were decaf, so I'm like kind of challenged myself, even though I'm a few hours ahead of
Another
you.
one's dim, dim,
Yeah,
DIH.
yeah.
Yeah.
I actually, it was funny. I interviewed a naturopath a couple weeks ago for one of these podcasts, and that was one of her big ingredients for men. And in all honesty, I had never really thought about it until you realize like how that ingredient works. So what are the hot areas? Like you're a high level consultant within TCI. What are
Well,
like
full
the
time, yeah. But
yeah.
yeah,
So
go ahead.
I didn't mean to say consultant, but you're consulting with their customers, I guess is really how I
Yeah,
look at
yeah,
it. And
we're
yeah,
providing like formulation services.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I probably misspoken.
It's all good.
I knew what I meant. I just couldn't get it out, I guess. So maybe, but what are the big areas that people are creating new products for? Like, is it
So yeah,
skin
great
or
question.
yeah?
So creatine would be one area, right? And I'd say collagen C and C are the big two, and those could be in powder and liquid. Uh, those would be I'd say those, and then we get some unique projects like making like mushroom coffees.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was alluding to earlier was like you're dealing with some botanicals that can have some sensory issues, or they can work for you, in a coffee application. But and I was checking out Indus's site before our call, and one of the things, I don't know if you're familiar with it, is Biocrete.
Yeah.
I was seems interesting, because of the creatine being such a popular ingredient. I was wondering if that's something that you have any information that you could share about.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of fascinating. They're still doing clinicals with that ingredient, but basically we're talking about enhancing the effects of creatine, and I think well, I mean nowadays, I mean creatine's being used for so many different areas that we didn't think of. 10 years ago it was pretty much the people that were heading off to do bodybuilding and stuff like that, and now it's advanced more than that. I mean, I
Mind
don't know
your
about
muscle.
yeah, and the thing, but it's limited. It's self-limiting, I think, because of the dosing required, right? When you say that, I mean, you're creating finished products when you're talking about grams of something.
Yeah, 5 grams.
Yeah, and
Ideally.
so it's self-limiting. So when you have an ingredient that can hopefully reduce the amount that's required, to me that. And some people claim to have side effects from taking too much creatine. So and that's me as the pharmacist in me was always about like what. Well, actually, I'll say the herbal pharmacist in me was always like, yeah, if it was a perfect world, I could recommend stuff so people could come off their drugs. But my realistic thing is one to get you to take natural products to support whatever that health issue is, so that maybe you could have a dosage reduction. And why is that so important? Well, the more you take of something, the likelihood of side effects happening, right? And then when people have side effects, and this is even true in our industry, right? Like if I actually was consuming a clear protein back in January, and it gave me horrific digestive upset. Like holy moly, it was evil. And so because of that, I didn't use it every day. I'm like, I'm just not. I can't be miserable every freaking day of the week. So yeah, for me, like anytime you can have an ingredient that helps support, maybe reduce dosage, you're going to get improved compliance. In your case, it makes it a heck of a lot easier to formulate with too, right? I mean, when you're like, if you could theoretically go from 5 grams down to 1, you saved money, right? You're keeping efficacy, etc. So,
Yeah, and then you're also, I think, differentiating yourself because creatine is kind of like going to be commoditized, or is
yeah,
being commoditized. So it's
yeah,
going to be price per milligram or gram. So I mean, to me, that would help set brands apart, and
yeah,
whether you reduce, I'd still probably even keep it at 5 grams and put that boost in there. I don't, And it would be interesting to look at the claims behind it. But
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
one thing that stood out to me as far as kind of ingredients in a trending marketplace.
And are you getting actual feedback from the customers you have from TCI on? Yeah, I mean, I don't. If you're not in the industry like you are, where I mean, you've made gummies, you've made. I mean, there's probably not a delivery method that you haven't. I used to joke with you when I'd come to your house about you were like the mad chef in the kitchen, whipping up. But in this case, it was supplements, and um, but yeah, like I feel like what you do is fascinating. It's truly an artwork. But are your customers like are they finding, because you really are a wizard, dude, and I'm not just kissing your butt right now, but I mean you're really like a rare breed in this industry about being able to create formulas across many different platforms. Are your customers like super stoked that you're on board now and able to help are you problem solving for people, or are you?
Yeah, so in my role, I'm supporting our NPD team, and
Mhm.
that's on the formulation side and also on sensory. Uh, and it's difficult because I think clients sometimes may have an unrealistic expectation based off of maybe the ingredients they selected. There's kind of theory like, oh, I like all these ingredients, let's just put this into a beverage. And then there's the application part of it.
Mhm.
So I think that's where sometimes the rub is between the formulator or the contract manufacturer and the brand, and then trying to adjust expectations or coming up with other solutions that might be outside of what they came out with, but just, that will solve it and still provide the claims that they're looking for.
Let's kind of run through what the process should look like, because you just like this thing just flew into my head of, you have these companies that are like, oh, this would be really cool if we combine these four ingredients because they're all great, and then you're like, no, dude, like that's not going to work in a beverage, or it's not going to work this way, or it's going to smell bad or taste bad, or like when you and I were talking about astaxanthin back in the day, and like does it smell or taste like pond scum or whatever? So, what's the real process that a company that's looking to put together a project should like? Where do they start, and then can you carry us through like until it's like completed?
Sure. So we just currently implementing this, or yeah, I mean, or bringing it online mainstream with our clients, and I call it a project brief form. And so we use Monday.com to kind of see where our projects are. And so this form, it was originally on MS Forms, where you shoot it out via email, and then the whole MPD team would get the announcement that there's a project brief. Now it comes in through Monday, and we send it through Monday to our client. And so I'll run down through the main components. So company name, any type of formula code that they have, point of contact, what markets are they looking at, regulatory wise, what product form, what category, what type of ingredients, any kind of disallowed ingredients or allergens or kind of food sensitivities, any kind of certifications that they're looking for, cost of goods, volume. So all these different things that go into the project or in this brief that get emailed out, they fill it out, we look at it, and if it's incomplete or doesn't have the right answers or there's some red flags, we have a discussion with them and we work it through and figure out how best to serve them. And then we have a feedback form once we send out the prototypes, and then we get that back. So we're trying to reduce the number of revisions and speed to market by utilizing these forms.
So it'd be better for someone they're thinking. I'm thinking about the people I had the call with this morning. Like they haven't gotten to market yet, right? And they're actually doing a capsule, so it makes things, I think, a lot easier. Of course, depending on the actives and stability and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But it sounds like people should start, like if they're they're watching this right now and they're thinking about starting a new product, that it'd be better to start with you and your form that you're talking about to get the ball rolling, as opposed to them doing a whole bunch of their own due diligence ahead of time and then realizing like, oh shoot, you know, this isn't stable in water. Or
Well, you mentioned like say they're doing capsule and they
yeah,
just assume that it's going to go in a beverage, and they find out, oh darn, you know, these ingredients are bitter tasting and they won't,
yeah,
or they're not stable in a beverage.
right.
So
I
that's
yeah,
what that form flushes out, because then you know they can click on multiple product forms, and then we go, oh great, you want to go in a beverage, but it's got vinpocetine in it, you know, and it's extremely bitter, you know, and hard to mask. So
okay, cool. Well, another one that one of my favorite things I've been actually using that Indus Indus Biotech has is they have what they call fenuflakes. So it's defatted fenugreek seeds. That's pretty much just the fiber in galactomannan. Are you working at all in the fiber field at this point, or
yes, kind of more in the GLP-1 support area, you know,
okay?
because of motility.
Hmm.
But yes,
All
yeah,
right.
that was another area of interest too.
Yeah, the interesting thing about the fenuflakes, the galactomannan, you get this like prebiotic effect. And so when you just mentioned GLP-1, I just finished giving a couple of talks, on that topic. I think actually you were at one of them, if I remember correctly. But
Mhm.
like I think that's where like people don't realize the gut. You were talking about the side effects from the GLP-1 drugs, right? And motility.
Mhm. Yep.
My head, fiber is really good for those people who just want to support their own body's production of GLP-1, because you need those short chain fatty acids to stimulate GLP-1 production, etc. So with it, so like with those motility
Through the L
products,
cells, yeah.
what? I'm sorry.
Through the L cells, right? Just the
Yeah,
endogenous.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So what types of fibers are you using for those motility type?
Most like, so if we're looking beverage and it's sensory, we're looking for soluble, ideally, you know,
Yeah,
something that goes. So
that kind
yeah,
of makes sense.
I remember first learning about fenuflakes in VitaFoods last year. So
Yeah, pretty killer. It's kind of funny because I've never really been a take fiber as a supplement kind of guy, because I eat a lot of fiber anyway. Um,
mhm.
but but I like to be a product of the product when I'm consulting for somebody, and so I came home with quite a few packages of fenuflakes, and I don't use it every day because I don't like eating the same stuff every day. You know what I mean? Like it's so, but I have to say, like I noticed a dramatic change in my digestion, even though my digestion is really healthy. Um, because a lot of fiber products can be gas producing. They ferment.
Yep.
They ferment.
Yep.
Yeah, and I mean, testimonies suck, in my opinion. You know that, but I'm giving you a testimony now anyway, Alan. So there you go.
Well,
But yeah, like
excellent.
I noticed I was like less gas producing, which makes all your friends like you more.
Yeah. Well, can you, is it kind of one of those things where you'd have it like almost like collagen, where you scoop it in and add it into your
Yeah,
oatmeal per se?
yeah. So I was putting it in. I was putting in unflavored, unsweetened Greek yogurt is what I would do, and they don't have any flavor, they don't have any smell. It's really a cool fiber, to be honest with you. And then I would add unsweetened granola to get a little crunch out of it, and then I would add some usually like dried blueberries, just to get a little extra sweetness or whatever in there. But yeah, it's definitely you could use it in oatmeal. I mean, you could. I mean, I could put it. I probably could / should use fenuflakes on a daily basis. Like what I made for dinner last night, I made a cauliflower, broccoli, carrot puree to go with basically the protein in my meal. And now that we're talking, I feel like an idiot. I could have added several scoops of that to what I was making, because it doesn't impart any flavor at all,
Sounds
it doesn't smell at all either. So kind of now I'm feeling pretty dumb. But anyway,
sounds perfect candidate for a ready to mix like protein powder, you know.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, and the galactomannan is one of those things that's really good for helping with stabilizing blood sugar. So people that have like blood sugar control issues and weight management. Yeah, I mean, it's not a panacea. I don't want, and I know Indus would be super happy for me to say that. There's no such like thing as one size fits all. So it's not a panacea, but just I think we all know the benefits of fiber anyway. But I think a lot of times we forget about blood sugar stabilization or
Satiety too.
yeah, crack. And the other thing is for athletes, I've been doing a lot of research on fiber for athletes, and actually, I just well, I don't contract. He's doing it for free, but a guy in the industry that's now writing for me, and if you saw the guy, he's built like a brick house. Super. I mean, his passion is sports nutrition and fitness, and one of the first blogs he wrote for my website was actually talking about the importance of fiber for athletes. And I think everybody focuses on protein, not realizing fiber is a good carb, and it's a carb that'll last for a long period of time, right? I mean, you worked in your previous consulting gigs, you worked with sports nutrition lines too, right?
Yeah. And you know what? Interesting enough, like it wasn't as predominant as it is now, fiber, and I think it's a growing category. So
you said the majority of what TCI you're doing liquids, but you are doing other things as well, right? I'm gonna try to drum some business up for you guys, but it's not just
appreciate
liquid.
that.
Yeah, no sweat. Yeah, tell them I love them.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, but you can do other things, right?
Yeah, I mean, we have different, we could do solid dosage, powders, and I mentioned liquids. So those are probably the main ones. We have some unique delivery forms, like a dual chamber, which has got like a liquid on the bottom, and then you can have pills on the top. So if it's ingredient that's not compatible with liquid, people can still take it. And then what we call NutriVault, which looks like a pen, but it works like a Mio, where it's a nitrogen filled canister, and you can press on it and it shoots out a measured amount of actives. So you could have probiotics ideally that are stable in a liquid that could be dispensed in a liquid.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, TCI's got some really cool tech. Double Nutri, so we have like inline liposomal, so we can make the entire formula liposomal, and 0O2, where we remove virtually all the excess oxygen from the formulation, purge it with nitrogen. So we're do as many steps to preserve the integrity of the ingredient and activity of the ingredient.
So really, TCI is like the perfect for this topic of having you talk about like developing next gen nutraceuticals. I mean, that's, you guys are taking not just the formulating part, but you're taking like you just talked about nitrogen to take out the oxygen, so increase stability, etc. So that's
which is like perfect for omegas, right? You don't want fishy omegas smelling. So
exactly.
Yeah, it's great for me because it's like a lot of toys to play with and a lot of options. So can make ingredients and products stand out.
Awesome.
So it's a lot of fun.
Let's wrap up in a sec. Anything else that like I completely lost my mind and you think is important and I didn't ask about it? So anything else you can think of?
Just looking at, I don't know if you know anything about Vino Merix. Merix is Vino Marie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to pronounce it. It's a grapeseed extract.
Yep.
From Champagne region, France, high in OPC.
Yep.
I was interested in that. I don't know if you got info on that.
I can connect you with the people that do.
Okay.
I'm more of the third party. I don't sell anything kind of guy that I get super turned on by. Well, you and I have known each other for over a decade and a half, and I get really turned on by ingredients and technology and the science. And when I first met the people at Indus Biotech, it was during a tour with another ingredient company that's in the industry that actually was selling, representing Indus, but selling their ingredients on the marketplace, and I was just completely blown away at their R&D And for me, that's the sexy stuff. Like for you, like the technology on being able to take something that tastes like crap and make it actually taste good, like that's super sexy for you. Increasing stability, solubility, whatever, dispersibility, like those things apply more to you. But like for me, it's like seeing the tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars in R&D equipment that they have that, I would think I'd only ever see at a pharmaceutical company, and then these are nutraceutical companies that are doing it, and then just the level of like I said, Indus has like 7, I think, ingredients that are all come from fenugreek seeds, and I interviewed the founder owner of Indus last year, and I was a burning question in my head. I was like, why fenugreek? Like, of all the things out in the marketplace, like you picked fenugreek. And oh yeah, by the way, now you have all these other ingredients that came from fenugreek. And he's like, well, first of all, fenugreek's food. Like the body knows what to do with it because, in India especially, they've been using fenugreek for thousands of years as part of their diet, and then because of their R&D department, they were able to break it down into like, all right, depending on what fractions you had, certain compounds would rise to the top, we'll just say, or make it so you're able to get those compounds in maybe different ratios that take an ingredient that, fenugreek can be used for blood sugar, but it can also be used for muscle mass, or it can be used for hormonal support, or, like all these different areas. And so yeah, that's the sexy part for me. So.
Yep. I mean, those are kind of those, it seems like a unicorn ingredient where it's got so many things to offer in different product forms. So
yeah. It's nice. So dude, I really appreciate you taking time with me to do this today. I know it's not our normal conversation. It's usually random life
stuff.
It
is. I think it is. Sometimes it is.
I guess. Yeah, we can geek out if we want to, or whatever.
Yeah.
Although I'm used to doing this with you, like in the afternoon, having a glass of wine. So it's it's a little bit different right now. And I don't know when this is actually will air, because I'll send this over to them. But if it airs before May, you're going to be in Barcelona at Vita Foods, right?
Not sure. It's up in the air.
Okay. All right.
Kind of at this point, I've been traveling a bunch, so I'm kind of cool staying home. But I'm one thing TCI is always keeps you on your toes. So one minute I'm going, one minute I'm not, one minute I'm going. So you never know. But it doesn't look like that way.
All right, cool. And then if people wanted to reach you, you want to give out anything email-wise, or just have them go?
Sure, yeah. So contact information, Alan, ALAN.Roberts at tcibio.com, and website's tci-bio.com. Let me redo that. It's Alan, ALAN.Roberts at tci-bio.com, and website's tcibio.com. with a dash between bio.com.
I think we got
a lot of dashes.
And if they actually keep your name, Alan Roberts, on the screen when this gets broadcast, then
and there's the dot between Alan and Roberts. So
I love it. All right, man. Thanks a lot, Alan. I appreciate it.
Much love, man.
All right, have a good day, man.
All right. Bye for now.